Today, the year is 2020. You get up, about to go about your everyday business. Then, you go outside. Everything seems normal. You go back inside to make yourself a coffee. And then sit down. You turn your TV on. The news comes on. And then you realize the Twilight Zone has kicked in. And your freedoms have been taken away. Your freedom has been taken away. COVID-19 has kicked in. A pandemic of great proportions. At this point, you're still allowed to go out and do what you want to do for now anyway, at least. And one day you're going to work. And the boss says, well, from tomorrow, you'll all be furloughed. And you're like, what the heck is furlough? But anyway, he explains. It means you'll be paid, but you get to stay at home. Now, this sounds like a great deal. Well, a great deal for you it is. Because you sit at home and you watch the bombardment of the news telling you COVID this, COVID that. And then something clicks in your mind. Something doesn't sit quite right with this pandemic, this fraud. So you pull up your laptop or your computer and you start to research. What is COVID-19? So you look at the WHO and the CDC and whoever else, they decide to tell you, Organization for Health. And then dots start to connect. Bill Gates, and Dr. Ferrari, whatever his name is, keep coming up, their names, again and again and again and again and again. And you think, well, what's a guy that does computers have anything to do with a vaccine or a World Health Organization? Which leads you then into governments and corruption, which then leads you on to pedophilia. And then you say to yourself, wait, what? What has pedophilia got to do with government and the World Health Organization? But then you realize they're all sick. They're the ones who are taken from the children and using for their benefits to make them healthy, live longer. They're deprived minds, they're sick, horrible, blood clot minds. Raping children, sacrificing them, and drinking their blood. It's not just politicians. It's the Pope. It's your queen, your kings, your princes, your princesses, and your favorite actors. Well, now COVID-19 has just helped you out, right? Because you start to look into things, start connecting dots, and you realize the New World Order is doing its thing to have its control over you. And the news doesn't tell you what's actually going on. They just keep sprouting. COVID-19. 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 And recently, there have been explosions all over the place. What's that all about? The dots will be connected. Don't forget 9/11. That was one of the big events that started to take your freedoms away. Now it's taking it away. You couldn't go to the airports without being checked by this, checked by that. But you see, COVID-19 has now helped the man, the woman, in the sense that they started to wake up and smell the coffee. And now the man and the woman has come to kick ass and chew chewing gum. And they're all out of chewing gum. So now the man and the woman have decided to kick ass. Some do it lawfully, whatever that means. And some do it unlawfully, whatever that means. And then they started telling you about Black Lives Matter. Well, let's be fair. The children's lives matter. Because they're being abused, kidnapped, and killed. Everyone's lives matter. Doesn't matter what country you're from, what the complexion of your skin is. You all matter. We matter. We are the man and the woman of this earth. We actually have the power to take government and destroy it, overthrow them. We can take the power of the Queen and throw it in the bin. And if we want, put a new state of head, a new Queen or King in their place. But the funny thing is, the British Queen has disappeared since this Prince Andrew investigation started happening over Epstein. Well, let's think about that for a moment. She's advocated her throne. She was never truly enthroned because there was a certain kind of diamond that wasn't on the crown. The summary of my video here today is to say, you're a free man and woman. You can do what you want as long as you ain't causing no harm or loss. They tell you you need this and that. A license for this, a passport to travel. And they tell you you need a passport, you need a license. It is a privilege to travel in a motorized vehicle. They call it driving, by the way. I'll think about that. One day I was deciding whether to get a license and drive a car, or get a job driving a car. And I said, actually, do you actually need a license? That led me on a journey to free man on the land. It's amazing how much freedom has been taken from you and I, the man, the woman, the human race. Now, your queen doesn't need a license, and you have the same power, or even a little bit more than the queen. Your back in the card tells you so. So if she doesn't need one, and her husband doesn't need one, then it stands to reason you don't need one. It's hot, people. It's boiling. I'm sitting on my bed. I'm about to go and have a little nap because I've got to go work at 11 p.m. Do a bit of the cotton field stuff, do you know what I mean? And they want to inject you with a poison to give you COVID-19. So then they can lock your ass away. You know, they built all these pop-up hospitals and stuff. And people were like, well, they never got used. Well, no, they will get used. Because all those people who have taken the injection, the flu jab, you will get tested. All you sheeple that wear the masks, you go, yeah, you need it, let's get tested. And then you get tested. And then you get locked away in these concentration camps. And your freedom belongs to them. Because they can do it, you see, because you got a birth certificate. Which means they own you. There is a way around that. Common law. Sign up to common law. Add your birth certificate and all that kind of stuff. And free yourselves and your children. So they can't come in and take your kids. And if you're pregnant right now, mums, if you're pregnant right now, don't take their injections and don't sign your kid over by signing a birth certificate. Let your child grow up free. Because you know what? It is their right. Teach your children you are actually free. There's no government or monarchy on this earth that then take your freedom away. What they do is get you to give them the right to take you away. They deal with contract law. You should deal with common law, the law of the land. Let that sink in. Be free. Stand strong. Get in your motorized vehicle and travel wherever you want. If someone stops you and says, what's your name? Your birth date? You say it's my right not to tell you. Because they tell you that also when they go to arrest you. It is your right to remain silent. Use that against them. Use that. Because that's very powerful. Then ask them, are you being detained? Are you being arrested? Have I committed harm or loss? If they say no, walk away. They may try and arrest you. That's fine. But bear in mind, while you're having this confrontation, film it. And let them know. You know. So, what's the next on the agenda of the New World Order? Well, at the moment, it looks like they're running scared. The Queen's disappeared. The Pope has disappeared. And they reckon England's going to get a new king. King John III. He's supposed to be the right heir to the throne. Now you're going to ask me, Pegleg, do you buy this? No. But he could be taking the throne. Buckingham Palace, all its windows are being boarded up. They say they're redecorating. Redecorating. There are groups out there that are doing protesting in London and places like that, Manchester, Scotland, wherever. And you've got Americans doing it too, Australians, the French, the Germans, the Russians. They're all out there. They're all doing their marches because they had a damn enough. But until we all stand up and we stand in front of the Houses of Parliament and say, you ain't taking the power of a king or queen, because that's what they believe they can do. The UK government, this is. Well, they don't have that kind of power. But you see, the people have been indoctrinated for far too long. And you could tell the worst ones hit by that, is the ones that wear the mask thinking this virus that has less of a death rate than the common cold. Now this video is going to get taken down because I've said COVID-19. And pedophilia has been mentioned in it. See, they take your freedom away from you. Your freedom to say what you want, when you want, how you want. Fact checkers, my ass. They're part of their crew. All our bots, assemble. Listen, people. Dark times are coming, unless you stand up. Stand up with us. Spread the word. Go out and take your freedom back. Stop paying taxes, because you don't need to pay them, because that's fraud. Cancel tax, income tax, all the taxes, all fraud, all there to keep you subdued, like the good little sheeple you are. What a lot of you will say, why rock the boat? Well, I tell you, for the next generation, rock the boat. Do it. Rock that boat. It's time to wake up. We are winning. They're running scared. You should be angry. You should get mad. And you should say, I stand for man and woman. I stand for the human race. And not for the crap you tell us we have to do. For them, it's one rule for them and another for us. No. Our rules that trump theirs because we're the people. We're mankind, womankind. We have the power. They don't. We outnumber them. And they know that. That's why they keep us dumbed down by letting us watch TV. You see, they messed up when they gave us the internet. They thought people were stupid and wouldn't research, look into things, because the mind's curious. But your children's minds aren't curious, because they sit on their computers playing stupid games. Not like us, of my generation or older, or even slightly younger, who went out and played, made mistakes, but learned from them. It is our generations that do the research, look into things, because we weren't as indoctrinated as the generations after us. And I see that. They give the kids fads. New things, new fashions. And you try and tell your kids, look, none of this stuff's real, it's not good, it's not helping. And then, if you take your kid out of school, they try and tell you you can't do that. And they try and fine you. Now, there's been people out there who've gone to court and said, oh, I'm taking my kid on holiday. And then they got fined for it. During term time. But then there's some parents that stood up and said, no, actually, it's alright. And then they've gone to court and they've won. They don't tell you all the stories of the people that win against their tyrannical orders. They only tell you the ones that make it look like they're right and you're wrong. I'm the peg leg. Man of the land. Common law, bro. Layers.